So, so today we're making a video on Ed, and I figured it was kind of funny to show you guys, especially if you're like a newcomer to the channel, to show you like my feelings on Ed, right? So this is what I thought when the character was announced to be like a DLC character for Street Fighter 6. Oh man, I know you guys know my feelings on Ed. It's been very well documented that I don't like this character. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't think a lot of people do, but actually, and actually, if you think that wasn't like that was the extent of it, for a little bit during Street Fighter 5, I actually streamed. Check out like my like new follower gifts, like the ones that plays out. But with poison, this is kind of a nightmare. Let me know if you actually be down to like re-streaming, right? Haven't streamed in so much, but it's like poison kicking in. This is what I hate, right? Oh man, let's get this video started. Recently, I made a tier list video where I blessed Ed as the best character in the game, and I do think this placement was kind of contentious, and I get it. It's only really the East that thinks that Ed is like that strong because he don't jump that much, but in the West, I do think people still consider Ed to be pretty good, but maybe not like top 3, top 1, not that level. And I wanted to elaborate more on my thought process and why I think he is that good in this video. You see, Ed have a lot of range. If the opponent is trying to blaze a crouching medium kick, standing medium kick, that sort of poke and punish game, Ed typically will outrange the vast majority of the roster. But long range, it's not enough to make a character amazing, right? The thing about Ed is that his whiff punishment along with that long range are phenomenal. Like if Rio here is whiffing that crouching medium kick, Ed have 4 or 5 different ways to get a punish counter into full combo. That is much better than the majority of the roster is able to do, and all of them will give him like a knockdown where he gets okay. And its neutral and mid-screen control in general is fantastic. Like Flicker, when people talk about the best moves in the game, I do think Flicker is kind of overlooked. Let's check it out. This move is pretty alright on hit. Obviously, you can cancel it into level 3 super, but it's scaled, so but it's alright. It's alright. If the opponent happen to block it, there's a lot of pushback, and standing heavy punch into light flicker, that's a true block string. That's free shib, true block string, nothing you can do about it. And if the move in general happen to get blocked, there's so much pushback, you're not gonna be able to like tag him anyways. So it sets up a really good check scenario for him. Obviously he can hold it, and if he does the hold version and he got the hit, it launches, he get a combo, that is crazy. If it happened to get blocked, he pull you in and he's +4, meterless +4, which is not really that common. If you try to parry and it sees this, he can just cancel into the forward step and get a punish counter grab on you. If you try to like do anything, he can move with like the forward or back step to get out of the way. If you happen to swing and you missed and he got it, it's a punish counter, it's a crumble state, he gets a combo. And the thing about this move as well is that the hitbox hurtbox is actually really good for him. He barely extends. There's like the thing is a projectile as well, so if you're trying to throw a fireball at him, it will beat it, and if he had already had like the charged version, he will pull you through and he will get a combo on you. So it's very hard to tag him at that point. So a lot of people will try to go for long range moves, stuff like a heavy kick or something. But the thing is, his crouching light kick, this is a 5-frame move with insane range, making it one of the best punishers in the game. All of the long range moves typically would be like -5, -6, etc., and he is phenomenal at punishing that. And even if he is not blocking and punishing you, he can simply just walk back, make you whiff, and get a whiff punish on you. We already established that his whiff punishment is phenomenal. And when it comes to Flicker, the move only really got like 2 weaknesses in my opinion. The first one is drive impact. And between you and me, if a move is only weak to drive impact, then that move is pretty strong, especially since Ed can still backstep, and Ed as a character in general, every one of his long range normals can be cancelled into specials or drive impact, so it's very risky to try to YOLO drive impact against him. And this means that his mid-range control is is terrifyingly strong. It's super hard to play neutral against him. So you're like, alright, I'm gonna abuse Ed's weakness and I'm gonna jump. And this is sort of the contentious point about Ed, right? Because a lot of people think that Ed got bad anti-airs, and I disagree with that. Ed have hard to use anti-airs, not bad anti-airs. His light punch uppercut is still fully invincible. It got a phenomenal hitbox. If you got it early, you get a combo. Generally will give him Oki. Because of the slow startup, it is susceptible to empty jumps, like I get that, but he still have other anti-airs like heavy kick, which if you happen to land it on like an opponent who did something, so you're getting a float state, he gets combos out of that, and that will beat empty jump. And modern Ed is also very common, and modern Ed kind of takes care of the light punch DB issue. He's probably the best character in the game when it comes to modern controls. And one other cherry on top of his flickers is that his medium kick flicker actually got kind of like a lower hitbox, so it will beat armored moves. A lot of the armored moves in this game, like Marisa's Gladius and Zangief's heavy punch and all of that, they were only like upper body armor, so he will hit them out of that, and typically he will get like a counter at knockdown, so that is great as well. What do you guys think? They're convinced? I hope so. If you like the video but you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Over 70% of my viewers aren't, so you get to see more of me and my friends, the EX-Men. And yes, like in my canon, Magneto is I recruited him. Excuse the silliness and enjoy the rest of your video. And oh my god, I can't believe I actually forgot to talk about this one. There is even more to Flicker. Like, if you would believe it, there is still more to Flicker, because Flicker is probably the best anti-drive rush in the game. One of the best. Let's not say it's one of the best. Ed doesn't have himself like a particularly strong drive rush. It's okay, but it's not that insane. But Flicker is absolutely insane at checking your opponent check, because Ed will stop right in his track, very small hurt box extension, zap you with projectile, and if he happens to get the hit, it's a crumble state and he gets follow-up combos, very safe and very little pushback. So that move just keeps getting better and better. And Ed, I also think, is underrated as heck when it comes to corner carry. People generally talk about Cammy, about Ken, about Terry, about how good their corner carry is, but Ed is no slouch himself. If you're mid-screen, if you happen to get any combos on your opponent, you will almost always combo into like his forward step, which means that you're getting so much corner carry. And this is a character that gets Oki from pretty much every knockdown. Like, he's always getting Oki on his combos. And obviously, I do have to mention the Dream combos, because they allow Ed to coast carry you from like one corner to the other. Obviously, Dream combos are hard. They are probably the hardest part of Ed, along with the anti-airs, but they're still insanely rewarding if you're able to land them. From my experience, I do think they are very practical. Like, I tried them out for like a day or two, and I can land them, at least like most of the regular versions. So yeah, these are hard, but with practice you can get them down, and they are insanely rewarding. But even without Dream combos, you can still do a lot of corner carry with Ed. His corner carry in general, Fabu. It's absolutely terrific. And once he gets you to the corner, I do think as well that Ed got some of the best corner pressure in the game, because he has so many ways to meaty fireball you. His corner throw loop is terrific, because he can just go for the quick step, and now he's auto-timed meaty throw, so that is great. And he can just regular forward dash, and he's plus 15. That knockdown after the forward throw in the corner means that he can hold Flicker, and this is just a stupid position, because if you happen to block, he will pull you in. He's plus 4, so again, it's like hit, shimmy, do whatever you want. If you try to wake up reversal, most of the reversals will just whiff, so he will get to punish you. If you try to drive impact, he can backstep and then get a punish on you. If you try to level 1 super, that is pretty much not an option, because again, Flicker is a projectile, so his pressure game in that corner knockdown scenario is so powerful, and he has so many ways to land safe jumps as well. And obviously the corner combos are kind of wild, so his corner game is terrific. And there's a lot of knockdowns where he can like use the first part of his regular fireball to meet you as well, so very easy to frame trap your opponent, and very good. And his pressure in general is great. Yes, his lights are kind of But one thing that I really like about him, and I will move from like the pressure now to something that is kind of contentious as well. People say that he got bad jabs. The range on his first jab is not that terrific, I agree, but jab into crouching light kick offensively and defensively is terrific. Offensively, he is just very hard to contest because jab into crouching light kick, that is amazing. There is a 5-frame gap, but it's very hard to check, especially since he can go from jabs into blades, and that will get him like a counter hit, and then he can combo after this counter hit, which will give him like a knockdown and oki, and obviously he can just like 3 jabs into the back step. Maybe you're trying to make yourself safe, so you just gotta block, but then he can like 3 jabs into flicker, pull you in, or just go for a crouching medium punch, which is like really like a crouching medium kick type move. So he has so many variants, so many options when it comes to his pressure game that makes him hard to contend. And if you're trying to pressure him yourself, his jab is good because even from like its max range, it will always counter hit combo into his crouching light kick, so then he can get like a knockdown or a DP. So defensively, his defensive check is short, but it's very rewarding. And he does have an uppercut, and it's kind of proven like in this game. We know that Bison is very good, JP have been very good, Zangief. Like having poor defensive options, you can still work. And his defensive options are not the best, but he at least have like a sort of a defensive option. So it kind of works out anyways. And with the way that he's playing the game, his gameplay in general is like an extremely safe game plan, and that all around makes it hard for him to kind of like be on the defensive, like if I'm being totally honest. Ed also have a lot of other unique strengths that make him absolutely terrific. His combo game, the fact that Ed can always like from at least like his crouching medium kick or standing heavy punch get a combo into OD flicker, into launcher, into damage, into Oki, and not really have to use drive rush, so his drive regeneration is up there, and the combo still got drive. That is fantastic for him, and obviously the dream combos give him a ton of bar. That is great. Crouching light kick into like the OD blitz. This is such a low commitment, high reward option. It's kind of insane, especially if you got level 2, because you can always like just confirms into the level 2, gets a mad damage, and if it gets blocked, you're safe anyways. That is just like a really stupidly good technique. If you got the opponent in burnout, can lead to a lot of chip. His chip game in general is actually really high as well. He got ways to force the issue with drive rush cancel, that he can make a block string like his heavy punch or like crouching medium punch. Both of them can be drive rush cancelled into jabs to force a mix up, and you can't really like mash your uppercut against that. So in general, he has so many strengths. He does have weaknesses. I do think he lacks like amazing mid-screen throw situations. His throw situation mid-screen is not that great. His punishment to drive reversals are not particularly good either, because he doesn't have like a 6-frame medium, so he gets like a below average punish to the drive reversal. That's kind of like a big deal in this game. But outside of that, like he got so many unique strengths, and he also have like a very easy, very strong, like heavy drive rush loop that can lead to a lot of damage very easily. All around amazing character. His strengths and the safety of his game plan is terrific, right? Like I don't remember seeing a character that have this much range, this much screen control, and this good of an ability to whiff punish. This is kind of what made Ed so strong in this game. He's hard, and he took time to master, and he took a lot of effort from a lot of players. But ultimately, I do think his weaknesses are absolutely things you can play around, and his strengths is very difficult for your opponent to deal with. That's why at high level, when players got amazing neutral, it's very hard to play around Ed. But that's about it. Like, you can obviously make the argument that maybe he's not the best, maybe Akuma is, and I can entertain it, but I do think he is top 3. Like, there is no way on earth Ed is not top 3 in the current batch of Street Fighter 6. That is my opinion. Everyone is free to have theirs. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. It helps the channel so much. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and stay safe.